sports office in Las Vegas, and I'm sitting here with the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, Craig Thompson. And I guess there's a lot going on with you right now.
Yeah, it is a busy time. Obviously, we're in the March Madness. Football wasn't too long ago. We had a great season. Boise State playing in the Fiesta Bowl, and a record 7 bowl teams. And basketball's been fun. We've got a little separation. We have, if we don't have 3 teams in the NCAA tournament this month, I'll be shocked. And the tournament's going well here in Las Vegas. And of course, spring sports have started. So it's kind of that culmination, busy time.
What do you anticipate? Like, football's right around the corner. You know, every time we get the notice that the Mountain West Media Day is coming up for football, I start thinking about football. Anything changing this year? I mean, like, you know, they had all the conferences shifting around a few years ago, and it kind of seemed like it's mellowed out a little bit. But you guys see any kind of changes coming up?
Certainly not in our league. You know, we'll have the 2 divisions. This will be our 3rd championship game. 2 very successful championship games on CBS the last 2 Decembers, and to my knowledge, Van, I can't answer those other conferences. I don't see any other movement over the summer.
Because I was always wondering if BYU was going to come back and stuff like that, and you hear that sometimes. Is that still something that's being talked about?
Okay, I've talked to 2 guys today, and you're the second one to ask that. You know, we have had no conversation with BYU, and you know, I've simply said, too, that we accommodate them by playing 4 or 5 football games in October, November. We fill out their schedule. They don't need to be in the conference as long as we schedule them in the non-conference, and that's a BYU perspective. From a Mountain West perspective, those 4 or 5 institutions that are interested in playing BYU play BYU. So I think everybody gets the best of both worlds.
Television-wise, same deal, ESPN and with the football.
CBS. Yep.
CBS.
And there's an extension coming up, an option year, which is exclusive to CBS, and I would be shocked if CBS doesn't pick up the option. So through the 2019-2020 season, we'll probably have pretty much the same format of CBS, ESPN, potentially Root Sports, and the Mountain West Network.
And you've been pretty pleased with that because, I mean, there's a lot of games get on TV, a lot of exposure for the conference.
Well, it is, and, you know, it depends on your generation, your line of thinking, but linear television has done a tremendous job, the CBS's and ESPN's and Roots, but, you know, the digital platform, the Mountain West Network, has really grown, and it gives us the opportunity to televise literally thousands of events in a very convenient mobile world. You can watch it on your phone, watch it on your iPad, watch it taking your son or daughter to soccer practice.
And how's you know, like with the big schools deciding that they're okay with like paying athletes more money and stuff like that, how does that hurt like the conferences like the Mountain West Conference, USA, different conferences like that that's not included in that Big 5?
Well, those are institutional decisions, and we've had several come out and say we are going to pay to the full cost of attendance. It's new revenue that needs to be generated. It's money that needs to be reappropriated. Cuts potentially need to be made, increases of subsidies from other sources. There's several ways to fund that, but to stay competitive and to stay in a natural national environment, most of our people have said we will pay cost of attendance.
Do you ever worry about that Big 5 trying to run away? You know, because it's already uneven. I would like to see how the top 25 would look if it was an even playing field, because then people, you know, like coaches that are winning all these games and stuff like that, people would actually be earning their money because you have to coach against guys that everybody's on the same level.
Yeah, you know, I think they're earning their money now, but your point is instead of a whole bunch of 12-0 teams, there'll be a whole bunch of 8-4 teams because they'll play each other in the same strength. You know, there's a reason for the schedules as they're made in college football today. We play, I think, 19 or 20 games against those conferences, those other 5 conferences, and if the Mountain West plays 20 games, probably so does Conference USA, American, the others. And so if you take those maybe nearly 100 FBS football games out of the mix and they only play each other, it's a totally different perspective.
Yeah, because, see, you know, and I didn't want it to make it sound like they're not earning their money. I'm just saying that some schools get all these high-class athletes, you know, like high-caliber athletes because they have all the toys, they have all the money, and some of the other schools have to do more with less. Do you see anything changing with as far as more inclusion for smaller schools, or is that going to always be like that because of TV revenue? Nobody wants to give up any of their money. Nobody's going to want to give up any of their slice of the pie. Is that going to ever change, you think?
Well, you hit on the key component. Nobody wants to give up their slice of the pie, and so those media rights deals are not going to change. But as far as a perceptual, a Mountain West student athlete versus one of the other 5 conference athletes, whether you have cost of attendance or a better locker room or 2 pairs of cleats instead of 1 pair of cleat, it still comes down to one major component: where you want to go to school, and do you like the coach and the environment. We have never outbid an institution or had the greater facilities. For 125 years that we've been playing football, a lot of our campuses, we've never had as big a budget as our competition in some regards. But it still comes down to playing time and being in a comfortable environment, very comfortable with our administrative support and our coaches, that kids want to play. At the end of the day, they want to play. And so, we're not going to win that arms race, but we certainly can win on other grounds.
And wrapping it up here, the basketball tournament, anything you can tell me that's coming up in the future that you can talk about that's for the Mountain West tournament or anything like that?
No, we talked again as an athletic director group yesterday, but we really haven't got any major changes anticipated. But we always talk, we review, we evaluate each and every championship.
Okay. Thanks for joining me, Commissioner Craig Thompson, the Mountain West. That's it for us. We'll see you next time.